Good morning. What up? What up? What up? I'm just here to tell you today that you don't need to finish everything right now. You just need to be faithful and focus on one thing. This episode is titled How I Get Everything Done because people typically ask me a lot, like, how do I do so much? Like, I'm so ambitious. More often than not, people tell me I'm doing too much. They tell me, like, I need to stop, I need to slow down, I need to. But the reality is, like, in order to be where I want to be and do what I want to do, a lot of things are required. And because I can't, at the moment, employ people to do too many things for me, I got to do a lot of it myself. So I'm going to just give you three pointers of how I'm able to be able to practice piano, guitar, the gym, food, prep, life, spend time with my family, make money, run two businesses, record music, songwrite, travel, how I do it all. And the true simple answer is I do one thing at a time. So, that's what we're going to get into. This is Manifesting Stardom. I'm Jamai, and this is my journey to being the biggest star in the world. I just talk to y'all after I pray, after I study, after I pray to God, after I do my morning devotions. I talk to y'all about whatever's on my mind. And this is not something that I've mastered, by the way. This is something that I'm working on. And the reason I wanted to talk about it today is because today is Monday, and I was in the bathroom this morning as I was getting up, and I was just thinking, like, I have a lot of things to do. And then I just calmed myself down. It was just like, I finally am at a place in my life where I trust that everything will get done. Like, I finally believe in myself enough to know that I'm going to handle business. Before, I used to be in such a panic state because I'm like, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do this. And the way I used to illustrate it to people was, if my brain was a computer and I had all these open tabs, that's how my brain was. It was all these open tabs of things that I need to do. And I fight against that now because I'm analytical and my brain still works that way. But I always calm myself down by telling myself, nigga, you always get the job done. Like, you always handle things and things always work out. Not only do I always get the job done, but God always sees me through. He always carries me through. And I've finally embraced the dominion that God has given me to just take it a day at a time. So I think, too, another part of it is when you're somebody who really desires or have ambitious goals, you never want to be confronted from a humble place. You never want to be confronted with being irresponsible, not doing the work. Because if you genuinely want success, you never want to be the reason that it doesn't happen. And I think a lot of times I'm so focused on not causing my own demise, not being lazy, not happening for me because I wasn't willing to do the work, that I tend to put the pressure on myself to be like, you say you want this, you say you want that, but you ain't do this, you ain't do that, you ain't do this. And I just never wanted it to fall on me. But I finally got to a space where I'm comfortable in knowing that I'm always going to handle business, that is a part of my nature. So I got 3 simple points to explain how I always get things done. And the first point is peace comes from focusing on one thing, which I said to y'all. Overwhelm comes from trying to mentally carry everything at once. Like, you're overwhelmed because you're trying to think of all these different things that you need to do, and all while you're thinking, you could have finished something right there. My life doesn't move forward when I think about everything. It moves forward when I execute one thing. For instance, an example would be, my non-negotiables are like piano practice, guitar practice, every morning prayer. And let's say I'm thinking like, I gotta be somewhere at such and such time, and I got this and I got that. But I'm like, the pressure would lighten if I just get on this piano and just finish this 30 minutes real quick. You know what I'm saying? And so like when you just think about that, even when I'm at the piano and I'm like, now what I do is I turn my phone off, because when I'm learning, whenever you're practicing and you're learning something, your brain is getting fatigued, because true practice is learning something that you don't know. It's never just flow state. It's never just playing stuff that you already know. True practice is stretching. True practice is learning something that you trying to figure something out. And that can be fatiguing, pretty easily. So naturally what I'll do is, after I mess up so many times, I just innately pick up my phone and just start scrolling. So what I've done recently is I try to turn my phone off unless I'm like, waiting to hear back from my client or whatever. I typically try to make sure my phone is turned off, because if that practice is done and I'm focused and it's a productive practice, I now have one less thing to worry about today. So that is where the peace comes. The peace comes from just doing the work and lightening the load. You know what I'm saying? And the scripture that I have for that is Matthew 6:34. It says, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." God designed life to be handled in daily portions. This is probably the worst example, but I'm gonna give it anyway because this really helped me. Because I love Beyonce, right? And I've been blessed to be able to be born at the time where I get to see Beyonce ascend from just being a Destiny's Child to being the biggest star in the world, right? And so I've actually used this example with myself because I think like, and I'll just use Beyonce for people that know Beyonce. If I was in my Dangerously in Love era, but I was worried about getting to my Renaissance era, I wouldn't be able to focus on my Dangerously in Love era. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you think of all the music and songs and tours and albums she's done, and what if she was in her Dangerously in Love album thinking about like, after I do this, I gotta do a B-Day tour. After I do this, I gotta do a I Am Sasha Fierce tour, and I gotta do another reunion tour and I want to do a big Super Bowl, and I want to do an album called Lemonade. She focused on Dangerously in Love. In fact, she didn't even know, realistically, what specific albums or tours or plans that she had. But a lot of times we have visions for ourselves of all the different things that we want to do, and we judge ourselves based off of being in our Renaissance era when we in our Dangerously in Love era, when all you gotta do is focus on performing Crazy in Love at the best of ability. Like, just keep performing at the best of your ability. Just keep showing up every day. You know what I'm saying? And that seems like a very extreme example. I know maybe it's not as relative, but it helped me because I think about all of the music she's recorded, all of the albums and all of the album cycles and all of the tours and all of the choreography and music videos and interviews. But like, imagine if she thought about that all at once. No, you take it a day at a time. You do, but you just keep at it. So it's probably not a good example, but that helped me because I was like, you worried about wanting to do all these different things, but if you would just focus on one thing, you mess around and turn back and look back. And I have moments like that now where I look back at my old stuff and I'm like, wow, I did a lot of things. Like, this was impressive. That was impressive. This is really nice. You know what I'm saying? So that's my example, but it's the truth. Like, and I think at the end of the day, she's the biggest star in the world. So it's like you can't really mess with my example because like she it. But my second point is trust that the most important things will get done. And I think this is where the new hump that I got over is like, yo, if I just focus on this and don't get wrapped up in the idea that like I'm being irresponsible, because that was where I was going when I first started the video. Like, I will feel like if I don't handle this, what everybody else might think is the top priority, and I do this, then maybe I look irresponsible, or maybe I feel a little irresponsible. But if I'm trusting who I am, if I'm trusting my character and ability to handle what needs to be handled, me thinking about how important everything is doesn't help me finish anything, or me stressing about something that doesn't need to be done today, but it needs to be done by Friday. And what needs to be done by Friday is very important, but what needs to be done today is today. That doesn't mean that I'm irresponsible because I chose to handle what was what was needed to be handled today over what needs to be handled Friday. Like an example would be, I do practice, I practice every morning. I go to the gym. Let's say I might have some really important paperwork, or some things I need to practice, or I need to handle some documentation for my house, or my lawyer, or my accountant, right? And that's like 2 or 3 days down the line. But I'm in the gym, I'm practicing, I'm recording, because that doesn't seem like as super immediate important. Sometimes I will feel like I'm being irresponsible because I'm practicing. But the truth of the matter is, that don't need to be done for another couple days. And that doesn't mean procrastinate and be last minute, but it does mean focus on what you need to focus on and be who you are. I'm a musician. I practice. I sing every day. I dance every day. I keep my body tight every day. That's a part of who I am. So just trust that tomorrow will handle itself. You don't need to control everything. Your job is to be obedient and to be present in the moment. I don't need to finish my whole life today. All I need to do is be faithful today. I don't got to finish every single thing today. The scripture I have for that is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. And that's what I mean by, I don't always know how things are going to work out, but me worrying about how things are going to work out right now doesn't make things work out. If I do my work diligently now, that's one less thing I have to worry about. And if I keep my posture and temperament in a grateful space, then I'm good and everything will work out. Just keep your head down, keep doing the work, and whatever you don't have to think about right now, don't think about it right now. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to figure everything out, just move forward. And the last point is release the pressure. Everything will still work out, which I kind of just said that. This is the emotional breakthrough. Even when I fall short of my expectations, God has never fallen short on his promises. And that is where the trust relies. Like, bro, I don't know how I'm going to get this money by this day. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know how, but it always works out for me. It always works out for me. And that's what this whole vlog is about, is manifesting your future, manifesting the life that you want, and living up to the life that you want. Part of manifesting is acting as if you are the person that has the thing that you want to manifest. So part of manifesting my life as being the biggest star in the world is I need to have the temperament, the discipline, the outlook, the optimism, the perspective, the work ethic, the experience of someone who is the biggest star in the world. So that means I'm not talking crazy on social media. That means I'm disciplined. That means I control my emotions. That means I speak wisely. That means everything I do is intentional. I understand that I'm being watched. Like, that's the goal, to be that person that handles money well, that's a good leader, that hires people well, that's good with people, that speaks well, that can articulate myself, that can be courage, are used to people staring at me, used to people taking pictures of me, used to people, all of the things that come with being a star is what I've internalized and I've embodied of what I need to become, that person to manifest that life. So, understanding that everything will work out. And the scripture for that is Do not be anxious. Philippians 4:6-7. I feel like I give the same scriptures often, but I think it's because my focus is where it is, and I'm in the season that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And like these scriptures need to be repeated. But I feel like I just gave y'all this scripture. I feel like I always give Philippians 4:6. I always give Galatians 6:9, and I always give Proverbs 3:5, because they true though. But Philippians 4:6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts." Will guard your heart. And so that's what we gotta understand. Like, that's what knowing that it'll always work out is I made my request, I trust and believe, and I'm acting like it's already done. So that brings me to peace. You can only be grateful after something happens. So if you start acting grateful that God already blessed you, that the thing already worked out, that you already became, then the universe has to create that thing that you're grateful for. It has to create, you attract the thing that you're grateful for. I'm grateful that I make $23,000 a week effortlessly through high value opportunities that inspire me and that excite me. I'm grateful that I have 200 million monthly Spotify listeners that love my music, that love my album. I'm grateful that money flows to me constantly. I'm grateful for my fans. This is the stuff I'm saying to myself all the time, all day, no matter what my money looking like, no matter what my views or my streams looking like. This is what I say to myself all the time. And so when you do that enough, when you read that enough in the Bible, when you read it enough in the books and watch the YouTube vlogs, and you speak over yourself and you writing it out and you saying it and you diligent about it, that is what begins to happen. And then you get that peace of knowing that I got a lot of stuff to do, but I'm made for it. Even watching, like sometimes, like watching the vlogs, now that I document my experience, I'll be watching the videos of me dancing and performing, and I'm like, this was 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm drenched in sweat. Like, I'm watching, like you watch the vlog, I'm full out performance, music blasting, and this is what I do every morning. Even watching it is like, it's impressive because it'd be so early. Like, it'd be so early. And I do it every day. And if not every day, every other day. So it's like, that is what it's all about. That's what, it looks like it's a lot to you or to some people. But that's how I can get everything done. Because I feel like if I'm going to be the biggest star in the world, if I am the biggest star in the world, that means I'm a great performer. That means that I'm a great musician. I mean, I know technically that doesn't mean that is the requirement, but the type of star that I am, that I know I'm purposed to be, the level of excellence and elitism that and expertise that I desire to display, it is required for me to be a phenomenal performer, a phenomenal live singer, phenomenal dancer, a phenomenal guitar player, phenomenal piano player, phenomenal songwriter, phenomenal producer. It requires that. And so the only way to be that is if I do the work. And the work may look like, this nigga is a maniac because he do this every day. He performing like he in a stadium every day. That's what's required. And because that is who I'm destined to be, that's who I am, that's what my life is becoming, then that means that if I'm meant to be the biggest star in the world, then the work that is required to be the biggest star in the world is attainable as well. So what I'm tripping about, how I'm gonna get everything done, if what I'm aiming to do, I've been destined to do. If I'm destined to do it, that means that it's going to get done regardless. The work required is going to get done. So don't be worried about how everything's going to get done. Stay humble, stay prayed up, stay humble, stay sensitive, so that you can be present, not only present in your work, but present in your family, present in your relationships, present in your, your community. That is what helps you. I'm taking the word balance out of my vocabulary. So that is what helps you place things at the proper position in your life. We are dismantling the word balance, because balance does not exist. Balance is relative. I'm doing what is required for me to be who I want to be, who I am, who I'm destined to be. So I have to carve out time for taking my grandma to lunch. I have to carve out time taking my nephew, dropping him off for his nursing school classes, carving out time to do estimates for my uncle when he needs paperwork. I carve out that time because I'm sensitive and I can distinguish what is needed when it's needed. So that means if I didn't practice that day, it's okay, because I spent this time with my grandma. If I didn't practice that day, it's okay. I wanted to show up for this person, or I wanted to, be there for this person, or show up for that. But that is not my everyday. That is when it's needed. You place it when it's needed. And also, when you're doing things every day, when you're handling your business, when you have off days, you don't feel as bad about it. I tell people all the day, they ask me how many days I work out. I say, I don't have rest days, because life creates your rest days. I don't plan, I go to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday I'm off, and then, or Monday to Friday and then Saturdays. No, because one of them Wednesdays, one of them Fridays, one of them Mondays, something gonna come up and you ain't gonna be able to go. So go every day, because then when you can't go, you'll be like, oh, all right, cool, I wasn't able to go. And there will be times where you won't make it 2 days in a row. So as much as you can create a routine, because life will pull you away from those things. When life will pull you away, when stuff happens, things happen, emergencies happen, events happen, experiences happen, seasons happen, holidays happen, things happen. But if you got a routine and you showing up every single day, then if you done showed up for 3 weeks straight and one day you had to go, you went out to breakfast instead of practice, you showed up and one day you had to take your grandma to the doctors, but you wouldn't be beating yourself up because you've been showing up. That's how you get things done. So that's my spiel today. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.